fantastic head coach. His 500th win in year 36 as a Division I head coach. Off we go here from Klockner Stadium. It's Ella Carter who controls for the Hoos. Virginia is without a couple of key members of its starting unit. No Liv Rademacher tonight, the normal left back. The Dutch freshman has just been fantastic this season, battling a little bit of an illness. They're hopeful that she could return for an ACC quarterfinal game coming up on Sunday, regardless of the location. And also for UVA, the Hoos are without Jill Flamia, minor injury expected back soon. So for the Hoos, that means Allie Ross draws back into the starting lineup as one of the three strikers. Addison Halpern moves from a center forward to a center mid. Tatum Galvin moves from center back to left back. And Maya Carter makes her second collegiate start tonight wearing the number 26. Cagle flicks it on as Boston College's back line has to deal with it for the first time. Amalia Dre clearing it aside, but Virginia back on it. So this back line for the Hoos tonight from left to right. Galvin, Carter, Kiki Mackey, and the sixth-year grad student in Lainey Rouse, who has been just tremendous throughout her career. Rouse playing in game number 92 tonight. Here's Rouse on the ball near the byline, drawing the defense of Lydia Poulin. Rouse slides it into Cagle, has some space, veers around the defender, lets it go with the left foot, and it's hauled in. Olivia Shippey controlling for BC. Shippey number 1 in the ACC in save percentage at .846. Here's Leah Godfrey, leads the team with 10 goals this season. So dynamic. Her cross blocked off of Dre. And it's a corner kick for UVA. The Cavaliers' first of the night, 2 minutes in. Amalia Dre tops on the team in minutes in each of her first 2 seasons of collegiate soccer. So Ella Carter gets set to take this corner kick for UVA. Cavaliers tripling their opponents in goals this season at 33-11. Carter with the in-swinger, elects to go short to Cagle. Back to Carter, who finds an open pocket here for Addison Halpern. Her shot blocked. Rebound ricochets to the Hoos. It's Maggie. And out once again. Another corner kick for the pink and white. Another short one. Nice maneuver there, Cagle. Back to Carter, but Rouse is there to clean it up. Laney looks. Deals it to Ella Carter, who's been stupendous this season as the number 6 center defensive mid for UVA. Cagle on an island here with Goldthwaite. Baylor Goldthwaite, whose older sister Peyton was a Who. Moving inside off Halpern. Good combination play, but it just trickles out. Goal kick for Shippey and BC. The Eagles, despite the record of 1-6-2 in their 9 ACC contests, all 6 of their conference losses have been by 2 goals or fewer, 4 by 1 goal. So it's a team that's comfortable playing in tight games. Speaking with Steve Swanson yesterday, he said, it's a Boston College team that's comfortable defending. They press pretty well, and they don't mind sitting back because they're comfortable in their shape. Allie Ross drawing start number 7 of her season tonight. Junior from Atlanta, who has 14 collegiate goals, 3 this season. And now Godfrey, who was a free kick master earlier this season. Her first 3 goals all off set pieces. 7 through the run of play now. Here's Carter twisting and locating the outlet. Meredith McDermott playing up top. Addison Halpern, the lethal goal scorer in high school a year ago, as a center attacking mid. Galvin knocks it up top. McDermott seeking it, but Boston College regains. McDermott scored a couple of matches ago here at home against Florida State in a 3-2 loss. Coming back from an offside position here for Boston College, Ava McNeil. Cavaliers will get it here. Now, speaking of Florida State, that's one of the teams Virginia is rooting against tonight. If FSU and UVA end up tied, Florida State would have the edge because of that head-to-head tiebreaker. FSU currently leading 2-0 against Wake Forest late in the first half. That game over on ACC Network. Here's Ross, bodying up here against Bella Douglas, the outside back. And now Cagle drives it in, takes a deflection. Shot goes just wide. And a goal kick for Shippey again. Allie Ross getting an early look here for the Hoos. Another team that Virginia is hoping to lose this evening would be the Duke Blue Devils, facing Clemson. 7 o'clock kick there as well in Durham. The top 2 seeds are locked, Notre Dame and Stanford. Now, we don't necessarily know just yet who will be 1 and who will be 2, but those 2 teams each have 25 points. Duke in 3rd at 18, so the Blue Devils can't catch up. And that's huge for the Irish and the Cardinal because they know entering this night that they will have a first-round bye and they could immediately book a flight to North Carolina coming up this week. Virginia mostly on the ball here in the first 6.5 minutes. Here's Ella Carter, 3 goals and 2 assists this season. Leah Godfrey finds a pocket. Boston College closing down the space with Goldthwait. Diagonal pass intercepted, and BC clears. That's Sophie Reel with the outside wings coming back to defend. Godfrey turns on the Jets, slides it inside. Loose ball, Boston College trying to clear, and finally a whistle comes from our referee Peter Hansen, and BC can reset. Stanford and Cal started earlier tonight as well, and that result is going in Virginia's direction. Stanford, again, locked into one of the top 2 seeds, leading 3-0 against the Bears at the break. Cal currently with 16 points in the ACC, Virginia at 17. Who's on the counter here? It's Maggie Cagle on her dynamic right foot, and the shot just got ricocheted off a BC leg. Allie Ross with a chance for the Hoos. Nice defending there from Bella Douglas, the junior from Montclair, New Jersey, who has logged a lot of minutes this season. 2 center backs for BC, Amalia Dre and Sophia Lowenberg. Senior Lowenberg wearing 25. Ross, horizontal pass. Halpern strikes from distance. Regained by Cagle. Here's Leah Godfrey, an overlapping run left, Tatum Galvin. The left back moves into the 18. Nice move from Ross, and she just could not wrap her foot around the ball. Ross last scored against Clemson on the 25th of September in a road match down in South Carolina for the Hoos. So far, the shots in favor of Virginia, 6-0. Boston College has really yet to penetrate this back line for the Hoos. Speaking with Coach Swanson, who said, that 4-game lump, probably something Virginia needed with the results against Cal, Stanford, Louisville, and FSU. Glad it came at that time of the year as opposed to maybe right now. Virginia rapidly moves back into the box. Godfrey shoots, another one that just trickles wide, but it did take a deflection, and Virginia earns corner kick number 3 of the evening. 57 degrees here in a chilly Charlottesville on this Thursday night. The ACC tournament begins in about 72 hours. The Cavaliers hoping it happens here at home. Godfrey in her career, 33 assists, 7th in Virginia history, lifting it in towards the near post. Boston College guides it out. Nice move there, Meredith McDermott. Turns on the afterburners, now stops on a dime. So much pressure being thumped on BC at the moment. Fake cross, UVA gets it in, and it's poked away by Lowenberg. The recycle here, Cagle. A nifty move to her right foot. Loops it in back post. Galvin nods it down. Off another Eagle. BC will likely have to absorb so much of the onslaught from UVA this evening as the Eagles try to build momentum going into 2026 with a record below 500 with one game to go in their regular season and no chance of the ACC tournament, already eliminated from the NCAA tournament. That's knotted just wide, and this will end up as a free kick for Boston College. 10.5 minutes in first half, no score. Boston College looking for its first win here in Charlottesville since October of 2006. The Eagles' only win here in Whoville. Last time they met was here 2 years ago. Virginia and BC, a deadlock at 1. That was the Cavaliers' senior day. They came off back-to-back home shutout wins over Tech and Miami. Aislinn Streisig scored in the 50th minute for BC. McDermott equalized. Inside the box, Ross laces one just wide. Boy, oh boy, UVA could easily be up 3-0 at this juncture. The Hoos have now taken 9 shots, but only 2 on target. Every coach in the country would tell you, finishing in the final third, that's always key. Creating chances, that's fantastic, but at the end of the day, you got to put the ball in between the sticks. Boston College tries to go direct. Maya Carter nullifies that. Trying to get it up to Sadie Mathis, the freshman, who has not scored just yet in her collegiate career in terms of goals, does have a couple of assists. BC does make a change here as Tess Barrett enters the field for the first time, wearing number 10. Another freshman for the Eagles. 14 of their 29 players are true freshmen. So it is a very young team for Coach Watkins, who did lose a lot of talent from last year's team that won a dozen games. Streisig and Paige Peltier and Ella Richards, Ava Lung. This goes on and on for BC. The Eagles enjoying their first winning season last year since 2018 in Allison Foley's 22nd and final year as the head coach. Godfrey backpedaling and receives. Shimmies and looks. Feeds outside, here's Allie Ross. Boston College defending in a low block here. Godfrey the spinorama and the delivery towards the penalty dot. BC tries to exit. Maya Carter says, Maya playing in game 76 of her career. This is just her second start. Got the starting nod earlier this year against VCU. No Liv Rademacher tonight for the Hoos. McDermott, not necessarily known as a target striker here, but tries to go bully ball against Lowenberg. It last touches McDermott. BC can settle things down. So here is Shippey, soccer, basketball, softball player in high school at Monroe Woodbury. She's from Central Valley, New York, about 60 miles north of New York City. She has allowed 3 goals but made 12 saves in the last 4 games, and one of those goals surrendered was on a PK to Clemson. That was Boston College's last match. Tigers won 1-0. That PK coming in the 10th minute from Juju Harris. But it's a game BC really dominated the other statistical categories. The Eagles 12-4 in shots, 8-1 in corner kicks, but did not come up on the winning end. BC had a really rough stretch in the middle of conference play. 4 straight games, hosting Wake, visiting Stanford, visiting Cal, visiting UNC. That's the life of being an ACC program these days. With the expansion of the conference, Stanford, Cal, and SMU last season. BC with its deepest throw-in of the early evening. It's Lydia Poulin. This one driven in, and Galvin takes charge. Didn't get a crisp header on it, so BC regains. It's a threatening cross in that Rouse has to chest down and avoids the ball going beyond the byline, so it's another deep throw for BC. Eagles have yet to record a shot on Vicky Saffredin, who is number 3 in the ACC in save percentage, 2 spots behind Shippey. Safferton makes her 36th collegiate start tonight. Junior from Ohio. And Safferton gobbles this one up without much trouble. About a third of the way into half number one. Virginia, 8 shots thus far, 2 on target, and the Hoos have had 4 corners. Getting a look at that Clemson-Duke match right now. It's the Tigers who have a 1-0 lead over the Blue Devils, and that very much would help Virginia in the event the Cavaliers get 3 points tonight. With a Virginia win and a Duke loss, that would really help the Cavaliers get a top 4 seed. Again, the importance of being seed 3 or 4 is that you know you're hosting the first round coming up on Sunday. Carter sends it to Kiki Mackey, and Maya gets it back. The senior from Troy, Michigan, a northern Detroit suburb. Godfrey just didn't get enough steam on that pass and coughs it up. Sophie Reel, if the last name sounds familiar, probably it's a good reason. Her sister Lily, one of the best players in the U.S. national pool right now, was her teammate over at UCLA last season. Throwing for Bella Douglas. Godfrey helps out. Her impact has been felt all over the field here in 2025. A couple of years ago, an injury that prevented her from playing. That was back in 23. Returned last season, but wasn't necessarily at 100%. She's beyond 100% this year. Long ball direct towards McDermott. Bounces down, collides with the goalie Shippey. No whistle, and BC clears. McDermott seems confused, thinking that the contact from Shippey was illegal. Steve Swanson is looking at the 4th official in Kevin Guido and asking why they're not reviewing this. Play does continue. Now the goalkeeper is afforded the opportunity to go for the ball, but if no contact is made with the ball and instead with the attacker, it'd be a little bit more of a prickly situation. Nice play here from Galvin. Taking it away from Sadie Mathis, who works really hard to gain it back, but the freshman cannot against the veteran Galvin. Here's Halpern, number 5 recruit in this year's class, out of New Jersey, the National Gatorade Player of the Year. Dre moves towards the sideline, keeps it on the ground, gives it right up to Cagle. Draw out Poulin, she does. This is Halpern picking up speed from distance. Halpern too high. Goal kick. So Clemson scoring in the 13th minute. Natalie Brooks assisted by Neely Kerr. That's what puts the Tigers in front. Clemson is still battling to make its way potentially into the top 6. They have 14 points, 3 behind the cluster of 17 right now with Virginia, Louisville, and FSU. A lot of tiebreaker scenarios that might be put into effect tonight. You have to consider the head-to-head matchups, if the teams haven't faced one another, common opponents that they might have, overall goal differential in ACC play, some of the things that'll be factored in tonight if we have some ties. Carter to Galvin. Tatum takes her time. Was described a year ago as one of the more indispensable pieces for UVA. She played left back, center back, and center defensive mid. Redshirt junior from Miami. Diagonal ball here for Lainey Rouse. 5th most games of active Division I players. Trying to shimmy her way beyond the defensive reel. No dice there. 2023 Massachusetts Gatorade Player of the Year. Sophie then spent a couple of years over at UCLA. Didn't play 2 years ago. Scored a goal in the Big Ten Championship game against Rutgers. Reel has 6 goals this season, number 24 in the maroon, but Reel has not scored a goal over the last 8. Ella Carter uses the outside of her foot, tries to knock it in the direction of Cagle. BC with the ball. Here's Ashley Roberts, their center attacking mid. Out wide for Reel, And once again, BC tries to go direct, and Virginia solves the issue. 20 minutes into our first half. Cavaliers tie this evening, and boy, Virginia would really have to bite its nails, hoping to get the results it would need to be amongst the top 6 in the ACC. Galvin bolts outside Halpern, a bit too tardy that time. Bella Douglas shepherds it out. BC throw. The Eagles have only conceded 10 times in 9 conference games. The issue, they've only scored 3 times. Goals against Pitt, North Carolina. It's been tough for this team to break through. Goal against Syracuse made it 1-0 in favor of the Eagles in that one. Cagle waits, looks for the overlapping run, decides to take it herself. Cagle accelerates. Sophie Lowenberg punches it out. Virginia's 5th corner. Cal has gotten a goal back on Stanford. The Bears now trail 3-1 against the Cardinal in that match out west. FSU still up 2-0 as they get the second half going from Tallahassee. Leah Godfrey waits in game number 102 of her collegiate career. Serves it in a bit too short. Poked out Goldthwait, another corner. Godfrey, the Division I active leader in games played, and the second most assists of any active Division I player, only behind Macy Blackburn of Texas Tech with 44. Much better service this time, but it goes right over the head of Galvin. Virginia recollects. The Who's keeping numbers inside the 18. Towards Carter. Not the greatest clearance that time from BC. Cagle, a senior from Phoenix, 26 goals in her career. She and Godfrey have combined for over 50 combined goals and over 50 combined assists. One of 2 duos in the nation to do that. Stanford has a couple of players who have combined for 50 plus in both categories. Jasmine Ike and Andrea Kitahara. Cagle, really good in tight spaces. Receives and lets it go. Wide. Shot number 10 of the Cavaliers' evening goes awry as we hit the midway point of half number 1. Virginia on the verge of NCAA tournament number 37. Trying to get back to the ACC tournament. Cavaliers did not play in the ACC tournament last year, but they did qualify for the big dance. Beat Princeton in the first round, lost in penalties to Wisconsin and Irvine in round number 2. Long ball forward here for Tess Barrett. Excellent slide tackle from Kiki Maggie, a 5th-year senior from Naples. Has been a stalwart back there for the Who's, playing 90 minutes 13 times this year. Douglas goes right to Barrett. Virginia has it covered. Allie Ross locates space here with Ella Carter. And she takes her real estate, goes horizontally for Cagle. Halpern makes the run on the exterior. Cagle, a jock through the park right now. Godfrey. And Ross. Galvin striding forward. Ross continues. Cagle pulled up on her run. Here's Godfrey. Funneling off the defender in Goldthwait. Godfrey, sneaky pass, seeking Lainey Rouse. Cagle calls Ella. Ella gets the ball from Carter, but gives it away. As does Tess Barrett. It would have been very difficult to bring that one down. Halpern. Up from McDermott. Trying to fend off Dre. Carter uses the outside of her boot. Ball to BC. The Eagles in 13th out of 17 in the ACC. Can only get a maximum of 8 points with a victory tonight, but it would certainly help BC build momentum going into 2026. As we touched on earlier, a very young, inexperienced Eagles team that features 14 freshmen and 5 sophomores out of the 29 on the roster. Steve Swanson set to make a few changes here, and indeed he does. Carrie Helfrich and Sophia Bradley come in as wingers. And Ross goes off alongside McDermott. So they'll put Helfrich at the 9 spot. Cagle moves wide left. And Sophia Bradley, the sophomore, really good goal scorer out of Jersey a couple of years back, is on the right. Under 20 to go now in the first half. BC has been credited with 1 shot, Virginia +9. That banks off of Bradley. Barrett checks in for the ball. Pressure applied, Helfrich, and the freshman twists off the defender. There's Halpern, another first year for the Hoos. Delicious ball out wide. Here's Cagle. Hunting her prey right now in Douglas. Bella falls down, but gets a piece of the ball. And the assistance provided by the BC back line. Direct to Barrett, drawing out Carter. BC maintains with Mathis. But Barrett did not continue her pace. Virginia ball. The Blue Devils have equalized against Clemson. It's a 1-1 score there. That does not help Virginia. Blue Devils getting a goal from Mia Minestrella in the 22nd minute. A tie for the Blue Devils would be fine for Virginia as the Cavaliers seek a top 4 spot. Halpern blazes one towards the D. Bounces down Galvin, gets a head on it here for Cagle. Carter seeks an option, goes right back to Maggie. Halpern asking for it. Cagle tried to insert a very tight ball that did not work. And a nice move there from Reel as she tries to bypass Lainey Rouse. Reel continues. Nice work. The junior from Hingham, Mass. on the South Shore. 87 goals, 43 assists in 3 seasons of high school ball. Didn't produce all that much over at UCLA, but a much bigger role this season with a half dozen goals. Galvin and Godfrey. Back to Goldthwait. Godfrey wins that battle for the moment. Godfrey continues on her strong, dangerous right foot. Halpern. Helfrich lets it go. Back to Cagle, across. Headed up in the air and out of play by Sophia Bradley. BC makes an alteration here. Ellie Slensky is in the match. 16 in the maroon, replacing Reel. Slensky, a junior from Pennsylvania, did not play the entirety of last season with an injury. Played about 30 minutes per match here in 2025. Boston College really excited about the future under Chris Watkins. 7 years at Gonzaga, WCC Coach of the Year in 2023. Took over a program there that had 9 straight seasons at 500 or below. Eventually got Gonzaga its first ever WCC title in 23, their first big dance since 05. Helfrich has no idea where the ball is, but somehow regains. Helfrich bursts, knocked down. Ball remains with the Cavaliers. Lydia Poulin putting in the defensive work. Carter to Helfrich and out of play. Stanford regains its 3-goal lead, now 4-1 Cardinal in that match. FSU remains up 2-0, 51st minute. NC State, North Carolina, the late game tonight at 8 o'clock Eastern time on ACC Network. SMU and Louisville, no score right now in minute 30. Miami and Virginia Tech, also no score in the 28th minute. Here, one of 8 games in the ACC tonight, 17 programs. Syracuse not playing. The Orange have finished up their regular season at 1-8-1 in the conference. 5-9-4 overall, their season finished. Goldthwait checks the shoulder, sees the on-rushing Helfrich. Virginia back on it. Godfrey takes a strike. Quarter hour to play here in the first half. A goal kick for BC as the ball continues to be hemmed in on this side of the field. Chris Watkins goes into his bench again. Andy Wright is in, another freshman from Utah, the Ogden area from Kaysville. She has started 9 times this season, her 16th appearance. Here's Dre, one of the center backs. Wright gets her first touch, and boy, what a matchup for her against Leah Godfrey. And Leah says, I'm 5 years older than you. I'll just take that. Thank you very much. Cavaliers ball. Kind of a nervous energy right now at Klockner. Fans waiting to get into this match, hoping their Hoos can secure 3 points and secure a spot in the ACC tournament. Maggie lets it roll out. A Rouse throw-in upcoming for the Hoos. Now some of the fans trying to get into it here. Cavs have been great at home this season. They are 7-1-1. Their only loss to Florida State. They're only tied at Georgetown back in non-con play. It really is just astounding to think about how Virginia has the top strength of schedule in the country. They're number 7 in the land, according to the U.S. soccer coaches. And yet they don't have a spot in the ACC tournament locked up on the final match day. Amazing. The tournament format differs a lot from the men's side that gets all 15 teams in. Galvin. Not that time for Helfrich. Speed picked up here, Mathis. Sadie Mathis, the freshman, surveys. Deals it horizontally, Ashley Roberts. Knocks it forward. Nice link-up play. BC continues on it. Slensky helping out. Poulin takes her time and shifts it to the back line. Lowenberg waiting for it. About a dozen minutes to go now in half number 1. Virginia 11-1 in shots. The Cavaliers have been stuck on 2 shots on target for the last 20 minutes or so. Mickey Safferton trying to stay warm on this mid-50s evening. Galvin to Cagle. Tight space there. Poulin was not fooled. Lydia Poulin coming over from New Hampshire via the portal this season. Made 15 starts with the Wildcats a year ago. Makes her 14th start in a BC jersey tonight. Halpern. Maggie Cagle. Godfrey overlaps wide. Cagle just a bit too late on that pass for Helfrich. Good combination play from Barrett. Back on the foot of Roberts. Baylor Goldthwait turned over, but a foul, and Cagle disagrees. She is never shy to inform the referee how she feels. Just hoping to lower the temperature of the match. Galvin tries to usher it out of play and does. Hopping over it with Sadie Mathis closing in. Jordan Hardiman is now in the match for the Hoos. This is her 13th time off the bench this season. The freshman from Midlothian, Texas, just outside of Dallas. I told you earlier that Addison Halpern was the number 5 recruit in this year's class. Hardiman number 4, according to Top Drawer Soccer. With a lot of U.S. youth national team experience, still trying to find her way on this Cavaliers team. But certainly a future that is filled with sunshine and rainbows. Not expected of her in future years. Hardiman pops it up. Tries to regain, swarming Roberts, and Ashley's got the ball. Outside of the foot delivery up top. This is Sienna Ward, who is playing in just her 5th match of the season, 18 in the maroon. Commits the foul here and a free kick for Rouse and Virginia. 10 minutes to go now in half number 1. Quick update on some other scores. Duke has scored again, and it's Minestrella with a brace. Blue Devils lead 2-1. That's not what the Who's desire. So after Clemson scored the first, Blue Devils have scored a pair. Stanford continues its 4-1 lead over Cal. FSU now 3-0 in front over Wake Forest. So the Seminoles, with the victory, they will secure a top 4 spot, which means hosting the first round of the ACC tournament coming up on Sunday. Virginia would love a goal before halftime. Godfrey, speed, into the box. Pops off the foot of Halpern. Quick turnaround shot. And right in the right spot is Shippey. By the way, we did have a scary situation in Tallahassee. Dempsey Brown for the Demon Deacons took an elbow early in the match. Collision with Jordan Dudley. She had to be stretchered off, so we're certainly wishing the best for Dempsey and the entirety of the Wake Forest team. Center back split right now for BC. Dre analyzes. Connects in the middle for Andy Wright. And back to Dre. Sophomore from Illinois elevates it towards the Virginia back line. Kiki Mackey in the way. Godfrey makes the simple pass to Carter. Rouse. Skip pass here, Carter. Galvin calling for the ball out wide. Indeed, she receives. Mathis closing down the space. Galvin beats 2. Numbers advantage here for the Who's. Helfrich still goalless in her freshman season. Across it goes. Bradley brings it down, left-footed strike. Takes a deflection off of Douglas. And the easy gather in from Shippey. Olivia Shippey, number 1 in the ACC in save percentage at .846 coming into tonight. Has only given up 12 goals this season and made 66 stops. Barely played her first couple of seasons, just 3 games off the bench last year. Did not play the entirety of her freshman season. She has come up real clutch for this team throughout the season, even though the results haven't been there, but just to keep her team within matches. Made 10 saves against Stanford, 9 against UMass, 7 against Pitt. Big numbers for Shippey this year. Ward. Back to Dre. Launched forward. Rouse brings it down cleanly. And Vicky Saffredin getting a rare touch in this match. Saffredin earlier this season putting together a 623-minute, 54-second shutout streak that actually dated back to last year before Virginia conceded against Georgetown. That was the 5th longest shutout streak in Cavalier history. Halpern waits. Again, couldn't wrap her foot around the ball. And there's Dre, who's been very active thus far in the first 39 minutes of this match. Another long ball from Coach Watkins' team. Goes over Sienna Ward. And Maya Carter makes sure that Sadie Mathis isn't getting too close to her, but she ran out of room. No Liv Rademacher for UVA this evening. No Jill Flamia, both working back from short-term issues. Hoping to get back into the fold coming up on Sunday in the first round of the ACC playoffs. First round on campus sites, semifinals and championship down in North Carolina. Thursday, and the following Sunday, the 9th, the championship game. Quarterfinal matches coming up on Sunday, 6 and 8 o'clock Eastern, both available ACC Network. We don't know exactly just yet which seeds will be playing at what time, if you're wondering. Bradley pokes. Halpern adjusts and takes the contact from right. UVA celebrating Breast Cancer Awareness Night in its white and pink jerseys. Game after Virginia had Senior Day, with 9 seniors getting honored against Pitt on Sunday. Here's Helfrich. Lays it across, but Douglas waiting for it for BC. Rouse in a track meet. She'll win that battle against Tess Barrett. Sweeps it back to Safferton. Wake Forest is on the board against FSU. The Demon Deacons making it a 3-1 game. FSU remains in front. 60th minute of that match. Wake Forest gets eliminated with a tie or a loss this evening. Leah Godfrey. Nice pass. Halpern to the right foot. Ricocheted off the body of Dre. Well, you certainly have to commend BC's back line. Some blocks, maybe forcing some shots outside of the cage. And now Virginia makes a couple of more changes, including Lachlan Ryan on the field. You see her wearing the big leg brace on her right leg as she trots into your picture here. Ryan didn't play the first 7 games this year. She has now played 9 games off the bench. Minutes have been limited. Player who has been injured throughout much of her career. Last couple of years back on the field. Played in all 19 games last year. That cross, Shippey with the catch, and says, let's slow it down here. So Ryan, right wing spot, gobbles up the ball. Halpern waiting for it. Addison receives, spins and faces up, and Halpern's shot once again is blocked. BC having trouble. Eagles, though, do get it away. Barrett knocks it back. Roberts twirls. Hardiman glances off her boot. Maggie safe back to Safferton. 2.5 minutes to go now in half number 1. Notre Dame and Pitt are scoreless late in the first half. Irish trying to get 3 points to match the Cardinal. If both teams finish with 28, Notre Dame would get the 1 seed. Irish and Cardinal did not play this season. It would come down to record against common opponents. Irish would have the edge. Rouse across off the body of Dre. Ryan tries to restart. Elevates it over the back post and out. Helfrich wants a whistle. And Helfrich out left. Halpern remains up top. Ryan to the right. Carter pushes up alongside Godfrey as the 2 10s, with Hardiman sitting in as the 6. Poulin can't maintain. Galvin set to throw it in. Virginia salivating over one last chance here in the opening 45. Galvin steers it around the defender. Galvin across, and Shippey off her line. Suctions it in. Under a minute to go now in half number 1. Cavaliers have been credited for 15 shots in this opening half. Ball up in the air off the back of the head of Carter, and she goes in a bit too aggressively, says center referee Peter Hansen. Half a minute to go, and now BC is the team that is hustling after the ball. hoping for some set-piece magic on the road. Lowenberg set, drills it towards Saffordin, and not even a threat. And that should wrap up the first 45 here from Klockner Stadium.
8, 7, 6,
now through 45, Virginia without a goal, and that would make things very dicey for the Hoos in terms of their ACC postseason hopes. Boston College absorbing so much pressure, but it's a 0-0 score at the break. We'll be back in about Boston College goalie Olivia Shippey. Teams will trade ends, BC in the maroon, UVA in the white and pink on its breast cancer awareness evening from Charlottesville. Off we go in half number 2 as Roberts booms it to the far side. A throw-in for the Hoos in Tatum Galvin. Starting back line is out there for UVA with Galvin, Carter, Maggie, and Rouse. Ella Carter, no relation, remains in the midfield. Addison Halpern, Leah Godfrey joining her in the center of the park. It's Ross, McDermott, and Cagle, the front three, back on. Cagle gives it up. Lydia Poulin on the ball here for BC, 27 in the maroon. Cavaliers regain with Rouse. She elevated that pass unintentionally, forcing a problem there for Maggie. A throw-in for BC. The only Eagle to get a shot in the first half was Ashley Roberts. This is Sophie Reel, who can be a game changer on the ball here. Reel with 6 goals this season. Virginia now absorbing some pressure. Nobody in that space for BC, and Saffordin calls keeper. Here's Galvin. Godfrey into plenty of space here for the speedy Meredith McDermott, who picks her head up and lugs the ball near the byline. McDermott bodied off the ball. Goal kick, BC. Tremendous work from Lowenberg. Sophia Lowenberg, the veteran for BC, in match number 70 of her career tonight, her 42nd start. Erasing one of the speedier players in the ACC. Shippey sends it to Dre. Amalia Dre, very involved and active on the back line for BC in the first half. She just usurps the ball away from McDermott. Lowenberg, who just made that fantastic defensive play, seeks a long ball over the head of Roberts. Carter heads it out. BC has played in so many of these types of matches this season. The Eagles have 5 ties. They've all been scoreless draws. Virginia with just a few ties this season. All of those ties had goals involved. 1-1 against Georgetown, 2-2 on the road against Cal, which featured a questionable handball in the final few minutes. An 0-1 tie in the Bluegrass State against Louisville. Off the giveaway, it's Cagle. Into space, McDermott. Shippey comes out and absorbs. An assertive play there from the keeper. And Shippey has the ball. Space here near the D. Here's Cagle to collect. Rouse makes the run. Rouse shunned. Clear from Dre. Carter to Lainey Rouse. Defending here, Poulin. Ella Carter in a wide position. Misfires for Allie Ross. It's just been a bit off tonight from UVA, and Sure, you can point towards the possession number. Cavaliers have had plenty of the ball. The first half, UVA maintaining 66% of the possession. Godfrey. Cross took a bit of a deflection and out. Cavaliers with yet another set piece opportunity. 6 corners in the first half. Virginia pumping numbers inside the 18. Only Laney Rouse is back along with Safferton towards the net. Maggie heads it out. Goal kick for BC. Maggie definitely someone to pay attention to on corner kicks. Maggie has scored 3 collegiate goals, all off of corners. A couple of years ago, last year against JMU and Howard, and this year against Charlotte. That was way back in August. Temperature was a bit different back then, as we creep closer and closer to the high 40s moving through the night. BC change here. Sadie Mathis heads out. And Ellie Slensky is back in, 16 in the Maroons. Slensky, the junior. Hasn't scored yet in her collegiate career. Six minutes gone by here in the second half. As we turn our attention to around the conference, Duke still up 2-1 over Clemson. As Virginia tries to strike on the counter. This goes back to Shippey. It's a soft pass. Virginia throw. North Carolina, NC State just getting going. No score in that match. Virginia hoping for an NC State victory in that one. McDermott gives it up. Right in the right spot. Mackey hustles. Maya Carter advancing. Carter stops. Out wide for Allie Ross. Junior holds up. Administers now for Tatum Galvin. Goes towards the byline. Galvin rolls down and a PK is given. Inside the box, Boston College commits the mistake. Definitely inside the 18, and a PK that Virginia loves. Virginia with a moment it's been waiting for all night long. Shippey tries to stand in the way of Maggie Cagle. Maggie on her career is 6 for 7 on penalty kicks and drives one to the upper bin. A beauty of a strike. And Virginia finally has that goal they so coveted. Maggie Cagle with her 8th goal on the season, 27th of her career. And it's a big one that puts Virginia in the lead. 2 for 2 on PKs this season. Scored up in Syracuse, scores here at Klockner. And taking a peek at the live table, 3 points would get the job done for the Hoos and get them into the ACC tournament. A critical foul there from Ellie Slensky that provides Virginia the PK. Give a lot of credit for Tatum Galvin creating on that far side of the box, leading to the Cagle goal. So in minute 53, Virginia breaks through. And now the Cavaliers would obviously love more, but just need to prevent a goal from going in order to get into the ACC tourney. Mackey motions forward. Drop off Ella Carter. Wide for Galvin. Godfrey tries to check in. Virginia maintains control. Well, it's a Boston College team, as we've mentioned, very comfortable defending. At some point, if the Eagles are looking for a point tonight, they have to break out of their shell. Final score out west, Stanford just obliterates Cal tonight, 8-2. My goodness. So the Cardinal put themselves in a position to grab the #1 seed. At the end of the day, it doesn't really matter all that much, 1 versus 2, because both teams will get a bye into the semifinals down in North Carolina coming up next week. If Notre Dame wins its match tonight, both teams at 28, it's the Irish who would get the 1. Right now, Notre Dame no score with Pitt early in the second half at Ambrose Urbanic Field, the Peterson Sports Complex. So, again, live table, Stanford has the 1 seed in the regular season championship outright. Boston College on the counter. Leah Godfrey tracks back. And Galvin just watches it go out. A Saffordin goal kick. Louisville, meanwhile, has taken the lead over SMU 1-0. In the event Florida State, Virginia, and Louisville all win, it would come down to total points in head-to-head conference games. FSU would get the nod. Virginia, though, right now would have the goal differential advantage over Louisville. Free kick here for BC. Louisville and Virginia, if they both win tonight, would be 3-1 against common opponents. It would then go to goal differential and ACC play. Currently, Virginia is at +10. Louisville is at +5. I know these are tough things to follow, but just some things to keep in mind. Regardless of how it goes, Virginia with the win, they're in the ACC tournament. You can figure out the seeding later. Free kick here for Boston College. Sophia Lowenberg drills it towards the 6, headed out by Virginia. And space here for the Who's off the counter. Picking up speed, and here goes UVA. 2v2, Godfrey on the near side. McDermott all the way into the box, shoots, and there's Shippey. Olivia Shippey makes save number 5 of her evening. 19-1, shots in favor of Virginia. Shippey off the bounce. Too high for real. Here's Lainey Rouse. Carter to Maya Carter. Tatum Galvin. If you're just joining us for Virginia, a couple of starters are out tonight. No Jill Flamia and no Liv Rademacher. A center mid and an outside back. Both hopeful to make a return for the first round of the ACC tournament come Sunday. Just a bit behind McDermott that time, and it allows Shippey to haul it in. Notre Dame and Pitt remain scoreless. Now 10 minutes into the second half, Louisville 1-0 over SMU. Florida State 4-1 over Wake in the final 5 minutes. An FSU victory, Seminoles will host in the ACC tournament first round. Wide for Douglas. Slensky checks back in, receives. In the middle for Roberts. Baylor Goldthwait. Nifty play there from Georgina Clark to let it go through her legs. Carter finds space. Here's Allie Ross. McDermott makes the run. Meredith receives. Dre defends. Couple of defenders back there for Boston College. Very wide now in this expansive field. Maggie Cagle, the goal scorer on the PK early in half number 2. Maggie's 7th career penalty kick goal of her 27 overall goals. Carter surveys. Dishes to Maya Carter and back to Ella once again. Halpern. Here's Lainey Rouse getting set for a big cross. Virginia claiming a handball. Play continues. Ball banks around. Cleared for the moment by BC. Referee holds his whistle. Rouse loops it back post and headed over the target. Goal kick for BC. Shouts of handball continue from UVA and Steve Swanson. And finally, the center referee, Peter Hansen, wants to take another look. Steve Swanson seeking win number 500 of his career, yearning for the officiating crew to take a look, and indeed they will. So the officials downstairs take a look, of course led by Hansen, the center referee. And it's a quick decision. A PK is given. Second one of the night. So now we go through the psychology with Cagle scoring the first one. Virginia will use another shooter. It is Allie Ross this time to take the PK. In her career, perfect on 2 tries. Ross to give the Hoos a multi-goal lead early in half 2. Ross approaches and beats Shippey, again to Shippey's left, and Virginia's got a pair. Another huge sigh of relief for the Cavaliers as they score from the dot twice and make the ACC tournament all the more likely. Allie Ross with her 4th goal on the year, making her first start in a while. Off the bench the last 8. In the starting lineup today because of the absence of Jill Flamia, and she cashes in for goal number 15 of her career. And Virginia just over a half hour away from playing in a quarterfinal game on Sunday. Leah Godfrey checks out for UVA. Lachlan Ryan is in. Jordan Hardiman is also in the match right now for the Hoos, as Virginia tries to preserve the shutout. Cavaliers have had 9 shutouts here in 2025, including a 2-0 win over Pitt back on Sunday on Senior Day. Virginia, it seems like, got the jitters out. Certainly some fortune as well. And Boston College responsible for giving Virginia 2 looks from the penalty dot. A trip and a handball off of Dre. One-time shot, and there's Shippey, stopping Meredith McDermott. Florida State, meanwhile, just a couple of minutes away from putting a bow on a 4-1 win over Wake Forest. That would get the Seminoles into the ACC tournament and get FSU a hosting opportunity on Sunday down in Tallahassee. Could be the opponent that Virginia faces. Loop towards the Virginia back line. Tatum Galvin now defends on the perimeter. Boston College really has not had a clean look just yet tonight. Georgina Clark stopped, thwarted by Addison Halpern. And her fellow freshman Hardiman provides some help. Here's Lachlan Ryan, gyrating past one. Halpern, Hardiman, Rouse. 15 minutes gone by in half number 2. Virginia scoreless in the first, 2 goals in the first 15 in half 2, both on PKs. Virginia only had 1 penalty kick try this entire season coming into tonight. They had 2 early moments of half 2 tonight. And now it's Virginia who would just love to salt away some time. Duke still leads 2-1 over Clemson. But the Who's don't really have to worry too much in terms of getting into the tournament regarding the Duke. The Blue Devils win wouldn't prevent Virginia from getting a chance to host. Ella Carter set to take a corner here for UVA. Carter, an in-swinger towards Shippey, contorts her body to punch it out. Ryan, a shot blocked. Huge effort there, Bella Douglas. Cagle winds it back in towards the 6, and there's Shippey again. Olivia Shippey trying to keep her team within this match. Dre knocks it to right. Dre, no nonsense and out of play. Louisville remains in the lead over SMU 1-0. That match in the 62nd minute at Dr. Mark and Cindy Lynn Stadium. If Duke, Virginia, Louisville, and Florida State all win tonight, those are your teams that will join Notre Dame and Stanford in the ACC tournament. Maya Carter wide. Lachlan Ryan has it. Overlapping run, Galvin. Ryan bursting in those boots. Out of play. Last touches Ryan. A shielding job there from Bella Douglas. We'll have another change here, this time on the Boston College side, as the Eagles bring on Lily Kaliski, the freshman from Forest Hills, New York. Out goes Baylor Goldthwait. On the surface, her sister played on a lot in her college career. Sister Peyton was here from 2020 to 23. Younger sister Phoebe from Baylor is a junior over at Duke. Baylor in her second year with BC, transferred from Wake. Maggie waits for the ball. Receives from her fellow center back in Maya Carter. Back to Maya. Virginia so much more composed here in the second half. Yes, the Who's don't have a goal through the run of play tonight, but it seemed a lot more assertive here from UVA after the break. Steve Swanson putting on the magic touches in what he hopes is win number 500 of his career. Lachlan Ryan wide. Ryan, decent cross in towards the dot. Dre gets ahead on it. Reel clears it out. Virginia holds on the next 26. Steve Swanson becomes the 7th ever Division I head coach to reach 500 wins. Anson Dorrance of UNC, Lenson Terrace, UConn, top 2 on the list. Long shot, and Shippey has it, as Cagle tested her from distance. Jerry Smith of Santa Clara, 5'68". Gabe Mihail, Merrimack, year 42, 5'28". G. Herreri announced his retirement just 5 days ago for 33 years with Texas A&M. He's at 5'23". Former Florida head coach Becky Burley at 5'13". Steve Swanson entering this season as the 6th winningest active head coach in the nation amongst all divisions. Very impressively, Coach Swanson has had all of his wins, all 499, at the Division I level. Dartmouth, Stanford, and now here at UVA. Fantastic career. Ryan stops, Halpern waiting for it. Maybe some miscommunication, expecting Hardiman to run onto it. 55 wins at Dartmouth, 49 at Stanford, and another 395 here in Virginia in year number 36 overall as a head coach, 26 here at UVA. Took over the program at the turn of the century. Maggie makes no mistake, just wants to make sure that her back line can resettle here. And Coach Swanson waiting to make a change. Carrie Helfrich comes back in. McDermott heads out. And also Linda Mittermeier is in. Halpern takes a seat.
For the Eagles, number 11, Sadie
BC, meanwhile, brings back on Sadie Mathis. Re-entry allowed on the women's side. Ellie Slensky out. Sophie Reel turned aside here by Rouse, but they say it's latched off of Laney. BC
Also
throw
on
off
for
Kalinski.
Cavaliers, number 11, Linda Mittermeier.
Hardiman pumps it to the back line for Maya Carter with under 24 minutes to go. Florida State has won. Seminoles 4-1. FSU knows it'll be in Tallahassee. The ACC quarters. If FSU, Louisville, and Virginia all win, FSU would have the edge in results against one another. Ryan coming from an offside position. That's why the flag is up and the ball goes to BC. In that event, Florida State getting the edge in that three-team tiebreaker, then would come down to a head-to-head Virginia and Louisville. Well, they tied. So then it would come down to common opponents. They're both 3-1 in that scenario. And it would come down to goal differential. Right now, Virginia does have the advantage in that category at +11. As we sit live here, Louisville will be at a +5. So that's correct here. And Duke holds on as well. It should be Virginia traveling to Tallahassee to face FSU coming up on Sunday. A rematch of a game we saw about a week and a half ago. Yeah, just a week ago. Last Thursday, FSU winning 3-2. That was a fun one. Seminoles scored the winning goal in the 89th minute. Brianna Hudson, $1:20 to go. Virginia led 1-0 in that match against the Noles. Halpern on a 49th minute header. Jordan Dudley then scored a pair. Her 6th career brace. McDermott had the game tying goal in the 79th minute, tapping in a rebound after Halpern hit the crossbar. Then Hudson had that game deciding goal. The final 90 seconds of play. Louisville, meanwhile, is now taking a 2-0 lead over SMU in the Bluegrass States. So the Cardinals are trying to make sure that they're in the top 6. And it looks like they're doing just that. Ella Carter, nice move. Bit of a strong touch, but regains Ryan. Carter outside, and Galvin missed touch. Sophia Bradley getting final instructions here on the sideline. She'll come in soon. BC Tess Barrett is back on in place of Sophie Reel.
Returning for the Eagles, number 10, Tess Barrett.
We have a couple of finals in the ACC tonight thus far. Stanford again winning by 6 over Cal, 8-2. Pardon me. FSU 4-1 over Wake. Notre Dame and Pitt, meanwhile, are still scoreless in the 70th minute. At the very least, Notre Dame, the number 2 seed. We knew that coming into tonight.
And
Notre Dame and Stanford both have the buys.
Sophia Bradley.
So Bradley is in. Cagle comes out. Right now, her goal stands as the game winner on a PK. Cagle scored in the 53rd minute. Ross in the 59th. So the 2 goals separated by 6 minutes and 19 seconds. One off a trip in the box, one off a handball in the box. Both committed by BC. Eagles obtain a corner here.
Corner kick
Their
for
first
the
of the
Eagles.
night. As Tess Barrett gets ready to insert. And certainly with a 2-goal cushion. And no need to add on more. Virginia putting everyone back inside the 18. Barrett elects to go outside of the box. Bella Douglas. Cross, back post, Saffordin jumps up and secures. Vicky Saffordin has not been asked to make a save tonight, but as usual, commanding good presence in the 6, organizing her back line. Under 20 to go now in the second half, and 20 minutes away from Virginia's postseason journey beginning. And 20 minutes away from Steve Swanson hitting half 1,000 wins. Maggie Rouse. Bradley flicks it on. A neat and clever play by the sophomore. Helfrich tries to hold it up and does. Rouse beams forward, beats a couple of Eagles. Rouse turning on the afterburners. Delivers out wide, Sophia Bradley. 1v1. Bradley to the byline using her big frame. And a nice tackle there from Poulin to prevent a cross from Sophia. Corner kick Virginia, the Cavaliers' 9th of this chilly night in Charlottesville. 25 shots for Virginia tonight, just one for BC. The last time Virginia hit 30 shots in a game, Howard a year ago. Carter from the corner. Shippey, a lot of congestion inside the 6, whistle goes her way. That time too much contact from the target, Maggie. Virginia already with 10 shots here in the second half. The Blues looking to get to a dozen wins on the year, currently at 11-2-3. The 2 losses to Stanford and Florida State. Carrie Helfrich lugs the ball forward. Sophia Bradley sprints, can't catch up. Chris Watkins makes another change here. Baylor Goldthwait returns to the field.
Returning for the Eagles, number 20.
Places Andy Wright. Andy wearing that mask tonight. Boston College, meanwhile, conceding multiple goals for just the 3rd time in, check that 4th time in conference play out of 10. Free kick UVA. BC entered tonight, conceding just 13 goals this season. 4 of their 6 losses in ACC play by 1 goal. Eagles have already been eliminated from the postseason. They've also been eliminated from the NCAA tournament. Can't get into the big dance as an at-large with a record below 500. At best, they'd be 6, 7, and 5. And quite frankly, their RPI isn't there. They're 145 coming into tonight. Virginia number 2, only behind Notre Dame. Quick throw, Helfrich in for Bradley. Rouse. Laney once again not coming off the field for UVA. Rouse has played 90 or more minutes 20 times in her collegiate career, including 5 of the last 6. Allie Ross removing the warm-up shirt. She's set to check back in. Here's Sophia Bradley. Stops on a dime, sways the shoulders. Nice job standing in front, Ashley Roberts. Not buying the fakes. Clever pass in there for Rouse. Slide tackle arrives, Poulin. Trickles out. Deep throw in for UVA. Wall seemingly caving in on Boston College both tonight and on its season. Olivia Shippey, meanwhile, has been credited for 9 saves, 1 shy of matching her career high of 10 on the road against Stanford back in late September. 2-0 loss against the Cardinals. Here's Sophia Bradley once again. Boy, the Cavaliers would love to see her get on the score sheet. It's another nice pass, and it's a fake from Helfrich. Gets it back to Bradley and hits it off the face or off the upper body of Lachlan Ryan. Oh my goodness. That's kind of how the night has felt in the run of play for UVA. Yes, the 2 PK goals, but just have not converted in normal situations. That time a bit unfortunate.
Number 8, Allie Ross.
Allie Ross is back in. Ella Carter takes a seat on the bench here with a quarter hour remaining. So Ross is up top, accentuated by Ryan on the left, Bradley on the right. Lowenberg waits, steers it into space. Nice pass. Baylor Goldthwait. Barrett. Just too much mustard on the pass. Way too much for Poulin to deal with. Louisville now leads 3-0 over SMU. So we are creeping closer and closer to knowing who our top 6 are going to be. North Carolina and NC State, the late game tonight that started at 8. UNC does have the lead 1-0, but North Carolina would be eliminated with all 3 of those teams, UVA, Louisville, and FSU, winning alongside Duke. Right now the Blue Devils lead 3-1 over the Tigers. Safferton communicates with Rouse. Just let it go, and indeed, Laney does. So, the live table, we can go through this verbally. Stanford would have 28 points. Notre Dame is still tied with Pitt, by the way, in the 78th minute. So Notre Dame would be second at 26 points. Duke would be third at 21 points. Then you'd have Virginia, Louisville, and Florida State each at 20 points. FSU in that instance should be the 4. Virginia should be the 5. Louisville would be the 6. Rouse on the back post, waits and clears. Finds an outlet, Bradley. Pokes it right through Poulin, and Sophia Bradley continues. Trey knocks it out. Looking like a date down in Tallahassee for the Hoos. Rouse will throw it in. Bradley, she's been so slick on this right side here in the second half. Rouse waits. Bradley right behind her. Here's Ross. Good size and good speed for Allie at 5'9". Hardiman. Another tidy play, and Jordan goes for goal on a laser beam too tall.
Returning for the Eagles, number 21, Andy Wright.
Might BC have something to say here in the final dozen? Certainly a tough challenge for the Eagles tonight. Final game of their season. They knew that coming in. It's not been a successful year in terms of the win-loss total. But obviously a big building point for them here in 2025 as Maggie takes too strong of a touch. Tess Barrett off the giveaway. Waits for some reinforcements. Barrett halts, feeds, receives it back. Barrett for goal just over the crossbar of Safferton. Tess Barrett vying for her first collegiate goal, missed by a few inches of hitting the crossbar. I guess BC might have a voice still in this match. Matchups right now, reading the live table, Virginia at Florida State, and then Duke would host Louisville down in Durham. We don't know yet which seeds will play at what time. That has not been announced by the conference. We do know they will be 6 and 8 o'clock Eastern time starts, both available on ACC Network. So certainly mark your calendars down for that coming up on Sunday. FSU ball, or excuse me, FSU, BC ball. Mathis, drop off, Barrett, Tess, waits, dangles, shoots, Safferton sprawls and gets a hand on it. Vicky Safferton finally making her first stop of the night. And it was an exquisite one. Leaping up to nullify BC's first with under 10 to go. Tess Barrett again to take the corner. Second on the night here for BC. Barrett drives it, hangs up in the air, bounces around. A chance for BC just wide. Offside flag was up, so it would not have counted. Virginia ball. Sense the urgency from the crowd trying to finish up these final 9 minutes and 15 seconds. 27 shots for the Who's, 3 for BC. Over the head of Ross, Bradley running onto it. Here's Sophia Bradley on a break against Shippey, and Olivia makes the save. Rebound available, Bradley back on it. Waits, sees 3 BC defenders, falls down, a free kick, foul against Bradley. Olivia Shippey makes her career-high tying 10th save of the night. Mostly the fault of UVA. It could have been 3-0 early in the match. After that, Shippey was required to make some pretty good saves, and she certainly has. Submitted the 2 goals on the PKs for UVA with Cagle and Ross. But again, through the run of play, she's been spotless. Bradley thighs it down. Sophia takes her space. Bradley so eye-popping here in the second half. Bradley goes for goal with the left foot. And off Baylor Goldthwait. Under 8 to go. Steve Swanson would certainly downplay the importance of grabbing his 500th win. Oftentimes has credited his players, his staff, being the main reasons why he is where he is today. But obviously a huge accomplishment. Again, a head coach to do it all at the D1 level, all of those, what would be 500 wins. Bradley makes a point. BC's got it back. Regina Clark. Barrett, who's been the best BC player here in the second half. Lifted, Rouse in the right spot. Maggie to Hardiman. Tatum Galvin. And here's Maya Carter. Back line remained consistent throughout tonight. Remains on top 3-0. Duke remains up 3-1. Carolina still on top 1-0. Late in the first half of that match at Dorrance Field. Rouse is going to be called for a foul here, and she's confused. It's Lydia Poulin who goes down for BC, crawling her way back onto her feet. Appears to be in a bit of discomfort along her left side. Eagles free kick. Obviously they need one right now to make it dicey in the final half dozen minutes. Free kick for Sophia Lowenberg. The center back steps up. Sophia Bradley in her long 5'10" frame to defend. Lowenberg on the lift, deflects out. Goal kick for Saffordin. Virginia with a few players on the midseason Herman Trophy watch list of the 35 overall. Saffordin one of them, alongside Leah Godfrey and Lady Rouse. Semi-finalists will be announced on December the 2nd. Winner on the 9th of January. Blues also had a couple of players on the Top Drawers Soccer midseason top 100 freshman list. Liv Radermaker not available tonight, number 16. Halpern, 22nd. Leah Godfrey, meanwhile, certainly on her way towards another first-team All-ACC selection. Certainly will get some recognition All-American-wise, I would think. Dre advancing forward, the center back. And now Rouse. Lachlan Ryan changing spots on the field. Was the left wing previously, now on the right side. Exchanging spots with Bradley. Looks for the sideline, now manipulates the ball back towards the middle. Rouse through Helfrich. Hustle Ross. Helfrich regains. Harry does a nice job using the body, shields off the BC player, Andy Wright, who has returned to the match. Barrett. Roberts. Back to Wright. And down the line, Georgina Clark. Rouse clears it out with under 4 minutes to go. At last check, Duke and Clemson in the 74th minute remains a 2-goal cushion for the Blue Devils. Louisville and SMU in the 81st minute. Cardinals still on top 3-0. FSU a winner tonight by 3. Stanford a winner tonight by 6. Notre Dame and Pitt, still no score. UNC 1, NC State 0. Final couple of minutes there in the first half from Chapel Hill. 8 games in the ACC tonight. Syracuse out of action. The season's done. Barrett with the ball. Barrett's cross takes a touch. Safferton got a piece as well. Goldthwaite, Wright, cleared out. 3 minutes to go. Lowenberg, traffic in front of her. Helfrich has the ball. Ross asking for it on the inside. Allie accelerates. Taken away, Lowenberg. Shippey blasts towards the center of the park. Virginia back on it, Lachlan Ryan. Shuttles into the attacking third. Diagonal. Helfrich waits, faking out defenders. Good cross in. Ross, not solid, rather Bradley, not solid contact that time. BC ball with a couple to play. Booming punt forward. Hardiman gets ahead on it. Really good in the air. Roberts. Turns up the speed. Cranks it up. No dice. Maggie a clear. Virginia holding on these last couple of minutes. 2-0 advantage. BC one more change before the night's done. Ava McNeil, who started tonight, is back in, and Georgina Clark exits the field, which will wrap up her sophomore season, 34th appearance. Trickle out. And Rouse set to throw it in. Virginia, 30 shots tonight. The first time the Hoos have 30 since a game against Howard last October. Also had 30 in that match against the Bison. Roberts with the clock becoming an issue for BC. Nice turn there from Reel. Mackey bangs it out.
1 minute.
60 seconds to play in the regular season here for the Hoos and the Eagles. Assuming nothing chaotic here, Virginia's playing in the ACC tournament. The Hoos did not do so last season. All right, Boston College with one last set piece try here. Everybody pushed forward aside from the goalie Shippey, who remains about 10 yards outside of her 18. Knocked down, blocked in front. Virginia still with work to do here. 25 ticks to go. Roberts inside Poulin. Virginia regains and clears. 15 seconds to go. Back in the direction of Shippey. A career night for her, 11 stops, but not enough to prevent Virginia from getting on the board. And Steve Swanson joins the pantheon of all-time great leaders in collegiate women's soccer as he hits 500 career wins. And I'm sure he'd tell you, most importantly, Virginia wraps up a spot